sheer number of contracts which we receive per day, per month, is just too much for us to handle. So we needed something else. We needed something which helps us, supports us, and a good number of contracts is still handled by sales for historic reasons, but also just because of the workload. And there we thought, okay, maybe we need to look into a more specialized solution, a standalone solution instead of one-stop shop. So we connected with Luminance and thought, okay, this is a pretty cool tool. It actually covers the two main areas for where we thought, okay, there we need help. One is the contract review, so that we have a tool which supports our contract review process, which helps on one hand the legal team, the legal counsels to review contracts quicker. And then when it comes to our colleagues, which are our non-legal colleagues, are very skilled and very knowledgeable, but they're not lawyers and they don't know what they don't know. Most of the topics which they should review will be marked up, will be shown and highlighted so that nothing is forgotten. That gives them guidance and confidence. And with that, such kind of tool, we can, I think, cover around 80% of our contracts, which is usually these contracts between 20 and 40 pages. And there we use Luminance. The other thing is the repository, where we could handle all our legacy contracts. And in the end, we have one single source of truth, which then actually gives us metadata where we can upload contracts and extract the metadata to understand our contracts and react in case of emergent situation or instant questions. To do the reviews faster. So they can ignore those points which are already accepted by the tool, by Luminance. They can focus on those topics which are more critical, where it's highlighted, and which gives them more time to think, basically. So there it helps. When it comes to our non-legal colleagues, they get confidence. I recently spoke with, let's say, 2 power users. They all of a sudden now have the confidence to review a contract and not have all the time this gut feeling that they missed something, that they did not understand something. And if there's actually a topic which is still not clear to them, then they call us, which also gives us more time, because otherwise we had much more questions, much more requests from business. And so we are able to have more time for the important things instead of the repetitive ones. At the beginning of the year, we were very much involved in trying to understand the effects of the Trump tariffs on our contracts, on our contract with our customers. And at that time, we haven't fully onboarded Luminance, which meant that I think we reviewed around 700 contracts. Took us around 2.5 weeks, and I think looking and reviewing 5 different clauses. Cost, let's say, around 11 and 12,000 euro. And now we had a similar task, not that big, but a similar task recently. We can do now between half an hour and 2 hours. And not done by 3 people, but by 1 person. And again, we gain lots of time, which all of a sudden we can then use to put some thoughts on it, and to give management more time to make a decision. The most important thing is peace of mind. The business gets peace of mind that they do something which is basically the task of a lawyer, but not being a lawyer. They were engineers, they studied economics, etc., but they're not lawyers, and they never have worked as a lawyer. This now gives them confidence that they do not forget something. The business appreciates that we have Luminance because we are able to respond faster, which again gives them more time for their own processes, for their own thoughts, for their own decision making. I think that's that is appreciated a lot. Processes will get automated, and we're working on that, and I think this will happen in the next 3 to 5 years. We will have a fully automated contract review process, let's say. Our business will use this automated process to manage the contracts from the start. They can review it on their own, do the negotiation in most of the cases, and then the legal team will only be contacted, will only then be included in case where complexity, nuance, or strategic thinking is actually needed, and for which lawyers are actually trained to do instead of doing repetitive work.